So guys, welcome to another SAK Saturday. As I've said to you, I'm enjoying these Swiss Army knife reviews. I'm out actually on the bike on the Honda NX500 today, just having a little bimble about, and I just have a little review to do of a Swiss Army product. So what I've got today to show you is the Victorinox Swiss Card Lite, and it's one of their classic Swiss card multi-tools. You will have seen these. I've had one for maybe 20 years, an old one, which is this. But I've bought this one as it's got additional features to the old one. So let's have a little look at it in closer detail. So this is how the Swiss Card Lite comes packaged. It's in this quite nice presentation box. I'll just show you the details of the actual product code. And it has details of the product and what's included on the rear. These make for a really nice gift presentation. When you open it, it opens up a little bit like a book. On the left hand side is obviously the opening to show the product, a picture of the original or existing Swiss factory, and just some basic details on the bottom, which just say Victorinox since 1884, makers of the original Swiss Army knife, and then the actual address in Switzerland. So the product is situated in this little enclosure, and underneath that there is further details with regards to one item on the product itself, but I'll go into that in a little bit more detail when I open it. So, although this is the Swiss Card Lite, there are other classic Swiss card multi-tool setups that you can buy with various options on what's included. This particular one's available in blue, red and green. It's Swiss design, Swiss made. The recommended retail price on this is £43. I paid £21.65, 2024 prices. So if you're prepared to be patient, you'll find that many of the Swiss Army knife products can be bought at a cheaper price. Just watch out for the deals. So you'll have heard me talk about EDC, everyday carry, and how the Swiss Army knives fit nicely within that philosophy of everyday carry. I have a question to ask as to whether this is the ultimate EDC multi-tool carry. However, I'll come to it later in the video, there may be a problem. So firstly, this Victorinox Swiss Card Lite is very compact. Credit card size. It has 13 functions in this compact little package. Very robust plastics. And in one form or another, it's been around for a lot of years. So size-wise, you're looking at 4mm in height, 55mm wide, and 82mm long. It weighs 26 grams, so it's nothing, absolutely nothing in your pocket, or indeed in a wallet. I'll just show you how easy it fits in. I've got this little wallet here, which is very, very compact, very slim. However, even with this very tiny wallet, this will fit in. So let's have a little look at the functions, and then I'll draw some conclusions at the end of the video. So what we firstly have is a small Victorinox fixed blade. There's no markings on the blade, but it is stainless steel and made out of the same material and design as a drop point blade found on most Swiss Army knives made by Victorinox. From tang to tip, it's 3.7 centimetres. But as mentioned, it doesn't fold, it's a fixed blade. And it slides into this little compartment, quite firmly held in place. It's not going to drop out. It's not accidentally going to be pushed out. You have to have a bit of firm action to get the knife out. And as you can see, the tools can be clearly seen fitted within the card itself. The next tool out is the Victorinox scissors. So the Victorinox scissors are renowned for their sharpness, and these are no different. I'll put a little video up at the end showing the tools in action. You'll notice that for the design, to be able to stow away in the card itself, it only has one little finger ring. The idea behind this is that you stick your finger in there and you use your other finger to push down on the actual other blade. But you can see there it's quite effective, very sharp, nice design. And that slots back in nice and firmly again. Now the next function is an LED light, which you can just see there. And on the top there's a push button, which when I push that, it brings the light on. Now it's only a little light, but it would be enough to be able to just get you out of trouble if you needed a tiny little light. The batteries on these are the same as you'd find for a watch, and you can actually see the battery through the plastic just there. And to remove that, you just pull the switch back, it hooks up, and the battery can then be removed. The whole thing can be removed, new battery inserted, pushed back in, pushed to the middle position, and it's ready to go again. Very simple, dead easy. That battery will last for years. The next item on here is a multi-screwdriver set. Now you can buy these separately if you want to just attach them to a keyring, and I think they're really useful. Obviously fairly light duty stuff, and as you can see, because it has to fit within the tool itself, it's flat. So it has its uses, but don't expect it to be your main tool. It's a get out of jail tool, this. It's just if you need something you haven't got a proper tool with you. And what you have is you have the larger flat-headed screwdriver. The dimensions will be in the information section. You have the smaller flat-ended screwdriver. You have the small Phillips. And you have the larger Phillips. Excellent, excellent, excellent design from Victorinox. So that again just slides back in very simply. You can see there's a nail notch there. So that pulls out very easy, holds in place, and isn't going to fall out. The next function is a magnifying glass. So I have actually used this just to try it, and I'll do so now if it works. It's a bit hard because the writing on there, that's better. So if we were to look at the label identifying the actual product code, and then you can see with my unsteady hands how that works. So the magnifying glass may seem a gimmick, but it's not. Let me tell you, as you get older, your eyesight deteriorating. Even with the use of glasses, there are some small print I just cannot read. And actually that was a good demonstration of how that would help me in the event that I just couldn't read the very small print. So as we move round, the next function is pretty standard with most Swiss Army knives. A pair of tweezers. And it's the same tweezers that go into the, I think, 58mm Swiss Army knives. Very, very good, very practical, and something that I do use. The next function on this card is a little pin. You can just see maybe just there. And that little pin is tucked away, unnoticed, unneeded, until the day you do need it. Next function, and almost a personal favourite of mine, and one that I'm including in modifications to the Swiss Army knives that I'm reviewing and using, is a pressurised ballpoint pen. That is an absolutely brilliant little bit of design again. And a lot of these items, such as the pen, such as the pin, such as the tweezers, well, actually, most things on here are actually replaceable if they wear out. So the final two functions, and Victorinox do like to squeeze functions out of their products, is a ruler in centimetres up to 7.5 centimetres. And then you have a ruler in inches, which is a 3-inch measurement. I really believe this is a true everyday carry multi-tool. Actually, I would go so far as to say I think it is the best, most useful, most compact everyday carry multi-tool money can buy. And the functions that it has are very useful. Well, I guess I've answered the question about whether this is the ultimate everyday carry multi-tool. I truly believe it is. I do like my knives, and obviously the blade on this particular knife is very limited. It's more of a letter opener, but it is sharp. It will cut open things, but it is limited. So I do like my Swiss Army knives. But as an everyday carry, or part of an everyday carry kit, this multifunction tool is exceptional. So if you can buy this when there's a deal on and get it at a sub £22 price, this is exceptional value for money. And completely unthreatening to anyone, anywhere. However, with the current UK legislation on the carrying of knives, we have a problem. And I don't for 1 minute think that this multifunction tool would form part of the thinking when they created the current legislation. Now, I'm no expert on legislation. I am not giving you advice on the legislation, but I can point you in a direction. And within the information section of this video and all my Swiss Army knife videos, you'll find a link to the UK government website which gives you the information directly from the government. So let me demonstrate why this legislation, in my viewpoint, is a little bit out of sync with this Swiss Card Lite. And that is, here we have the Victorinox Climber Swiss Army knife, 91mm knife. There is a review on this and a video on the changing of the scales from red to white. Beautiful little knife. So that's perfectly legal to carry in the UK, obviously with the exception of things like airports, but that's perfectly legal to carry without question from anybody. You have to have no reason, you don't have to have a reason to carry that knife. And the reason for that is the blade is less than 3 inches long and it is folding. Absolutely legal to carry in most places in the UK. However, the Swiss Card Lite has this little knife with a tiny blade. However, that blade is fixed, it doesn't fold. And because of that, this knife is illegal to carry unless you have a good reason to do so. So take that in. This Swiss Army knife you can carry without question from any authoritative person, with the exception of things like airports. This Swiss Army knife, as part of clearly a multifunctional tool set, is not legal to carry in the UK because it's got that fixed blade, unless you have a good reason to carry it. Now, that good reason to carry is entirely down to interpretation by you, by the authorities, ultimately by a judge or jury. And that is the most bizarre situation we could find. The legislation did not take account of this multi-purpose tool. Now, the other thing that might crop up in comments that come in is, not only is it not legal to carry unless you have a good reason, it's also not legal to carry potentially because it's disguised. Now, I don't think it is disguised because I think you can clearly see the knife within the actual plastics. But there could be an interpretation that that is a hidden knife, and that in itself would make it illegal to carry. Bizarre situation. Let me know what you think, because these are only my interpretations. These are not points of law. They're not advice to you. But I'd be so interested to see what you all think. You can carry that, but technically you can't carry this. Let me know in your comments. I really want to know what you think about the UK legislation on knife law. what you think about the fixed blade status of this multi-tool, what you think about the potential of it being a hidden blade, and also finally, would you carry something like this? Would you feel that you had the justification and a good reason? The legislation talks of good reason. Would you feel you had a good reason to carry a multi-tool when you're going about your day-to-day activities? I know my feelings are that I would feel comfortable carrying this as an everyday carry. But remember, that may have to be tested in the courts at some stage. However, can you imagine being sent to court for carrying a multi-tool like this? Can you imagine that happening? Entirely up to you guys, but really on this one I want as many comments as possible because I'm just so interested to see what everybody thinks. So guys, thanks for watching. Sun shining, I'm getting back on the bike, carrying on my ride, and I'll see you on another SAK Saturday.